Welcome everyone to the CANDU Sports Show. We got your boy Scott Blair and
Don Reezy, Don Prazel, the one and only Faux Shiggles.
yes, sir. How
How's
we
it going
doing?
this morning?
Oh, it's good. We got June 22nd in the house. It's a good day. As they say, it's
Yeah,
better to be up above the ground than below. We live in,
that's
and there's
right.
lots to talk about.
Yeah, you're Mr. Vacation, man, Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull got some competition. Welcome back well, you've been domestic, I guess, most recently, but welcome back to the home front.
Thanks. It's good to be home.
Yeah,
You in the
absolutely.
Sunshine State?
I am. Shout out to my grandmom, Nana. She's
The
super
state that you
recovering.
never find a dance floor empty.
Look at this guy. Um, but yeah. So I'm here visiting family, doing the family thing, family support, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. Edmonton Oilers. They have come back and they have tied the Stanley Cup Finals. We are going to game. There's what do they say? There's nothing better than Game 7
Game
hockey,
seven.
and we got it. And we
Yep,
got it.
absolutely. And here's the thing. We can't do the show every day, but I kind of wish this one time we did because my thing with national pundits is this whole the way everything's a must win or unless it's literally a game in which you go home afterwards, it's not
Yeah.
must win. I get the sentiment, but it's not. Also, the idea of it's over. If they don't win this game two, it's over. Or game three,
Mhm.
especially in hockey. And I realize it's only happened a handful of times, and it hasn't happened since, Toronto.
1945.
I know,
1945. They haven't had someone come back Game 7 down
but
3-0.
well, guess what? It's looks like it's about to
Here
happen.
it is.
And
Let's
and
do
by the
it.
way, while I think Edmonton's
I'm
going to
here
win,
for
and I've been rooting for Edmonton, I can't stand when warm
it.
city hockey teams win chips or teams that are still considered expansion to me because I'm an old head and Florida Panthers to me, Tampa Bay Lightning, they weren't around with the Wales and Campbell conference. Um, but like regardless of how I feel, either team can win. And now all of a sudden, all these national pundits who were like, Edmonton has no shot, Edmonton has no shot. Now if it's Panthers can't win, they've got to do this, they've got to do that. They've got to just go out there and play their game. Please, it's not like these were runaways. Even in a 5-1 game, let's say two of them were empty net starting from the 3 minute mark, and we had a goal pulled away, taken
Yeah.
off the board. This game was not a blowout. Please, a couple things go a different way. A check, a poke. The one was like a block that just happened to Kareem perfectly to lead to a breakaway. So miss me with all that.
Perfect.
It's
Oh,
been a great series.
that was
Game seven,
ridiculous. Mm.
yeah, let's go. Game seven is going to be a great one. It'd be nice for Canada to get one. To get a chip. Been a long time coming for them. That's where my head's at. How about you?
Same. And I'm thinking about Sydney, about my daughter right now, because she's kind of mixed when it comes to visiting Epcot. But when we go to Epcot, she loves the Canada experience just because of the song. And that's what she'd be saying right now. Oh, Canada. And thinking of Tony Kornheiser too. I'm here for it. I've been wanting either Edmonton or Toronto to make a push in the final in the playoffs just for everything that you said. I can attest, having spent the last week in Southwest Florida and Marco Island, that Panthers are a thing in Florida. Y'all got them signs all over the road, so they must be hanging out somewhere. I'm glad I didn't see one, but it's a thing. But all that aside, yeah, amazing. Last night's game, to see the energy in that arena, to see Edmonton, and the fact that they couldn't practice in the arena the day before because of a Snoop Dogg concert is also hilarious. And just trying to visualize Snoop hanging out in Edmonton is a whole nother conversation for later. But yes, goal Oilers. Um, their action in goal has been amazing. Their defense has really locked it down for the last 3 games. And of course, offensively, yeah, you get some of those shorthanded goals, the empty net goals. I'm sorry. They almost had a shorthanded goal actually I think their next to last penalty play, penalty stoppage, trying to prevent the end of in the third period. The energy, and it just feels. I think the telecasters they were talking about the broadcasting team was talking about how whenever Edmonton this year had a 3-game losing streak, they always followed it with at least a 4-game winning streak. And here we
That's
are.
wild.
So let's see. Let's see if
Yeah.
they continue that streak and bring home the cup.
And I mean, they were partying
Hard.
all after hours,
Hard.
hours after the. That's a fan base that deserves it. No,
Yep.
no shade
I
to
do.
Florida, but y'all don't really get. Y'all out right now. Most of y'all are transplant from Northeast. Like y'all don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I want diehard fans to be rewarded, and Edmonton seems.
Think of the
And it's
history.
been a while, right? I mean, they had a juggernaut of a team
Yeah,
back in the day,
that 1980s, right?
but
With
it's been yeah.
Tell them
They stole one from Hextall and the boys, by the way, my favorite player of all
that's
time.
okay.
But
That's
well,
okay.
it's not about us right now. I digress. But yeah, go Edmonton, go Oilers, get your one.
You got to educate the people. Not everybody be knowing about that team in the 80s from Edmonton.
Well,
Tell them.
let the record show that team in the A's was it was like a
Yes.
created team when you play video games. It made no sense. You had Gretzky, who
Hmm.
was Gretzky out the gate, but you also had Mess. How did they have? They had
Messier,
Gretzky, Messier. They had Coffee in the back too,
I
didn't they?
think so.
They had yeah,
I
they
should
had
know that.
Coffee back there. They had uh, who's the other? I'm trying to think of the that line. That first line was absolutely phenomenal.
They were nasty.
Who
I
was the
think you're
rest of
right
that
on Paul
first line?
Coffey. I think he was with them.
Coffee was definitely there. No,
Yep. Yeah, he was drafted. He was a sixth overall pick in 1980 by the Edmonton Oilers.
unbelievable.
Nasty
Um,
squad.
but yeah, that I mean, it made no sense. I know they had the brother they had Grant Fuhrer, right? No, they did, but I don't know if he played or something.
Okay.
But Grant here,
I just
Grant,
remember those three. Just having those three, Coffee, Messier, and Gretzky. I mean, that's enough. That's
yeah,
enough. So
that is true. But no, their team. I mean, Messier led that team in everything pretty much.
yeah.
That's the wild part. Like,
No.
how does a team like that happen?
Great drafting. And I think that's a fantastic segue to our next topic because I need to get a hot take in. When
Let's
we
go.
flip to another team, another sport,
Let's do it.
we're going to move to the NBA. And there's a reason why I'm wearing black. I'm wearing black in protest. So go back to how does a team like the Edmonton Oilers exist? Amazing talent evaluation, great drafting, and I'm wearing black because the Chicago Bulls might be the most inept front office in the NBA. Awful. So I'm upset. They just traded Alex Caruso, who most will say is one of the best defenders in the NBA, for a bag of chips. In that, Giddy, right? The Giddy dude from Oklahoma City. That's all you got. You can't get no draft picks. You can't get no. The only guy on your team who's got any sort of talent and interest by anyone in the NBA, and you trade him for a 21-year-old dude who can't play defense and can't shoot. When during the season, teams were trying to give you first-round draft picks for the guy because they wanted Caruso on their playoff teams. And so I'm rocking black today in protest for the Bulls. I'm going to watch The Last Dance for like the 20th time now because that's all I can do as a Bulls fan to try and have any sort of sense of love for playoff basketball because they have been rebuilding since 1998. But with that, we got the Boston Celtics. Speaking of a team who's done it right with the draft and with good trades, right?
Mm,
Drafting as the Edmonton Oilers did to be able to build that juggernaut in the early 80s. And what do we got? I'm salty as a Bulls fan. I'm like, here we are, beginning of the off season, and this is what we did. We're gonna end up trading Zach LaVine to Philly for
nah.
freaking Smush Parker. I'm thinking of Damian Johnson right now. So what you got? Celtics are the champs. Dallas did not put up a fight in game 5. And I told you it was gonna go 5, and you looked at me all sorts of
I,
so
I was very surprised. Shout out to Boston.
yeah.
Congratulations. You had the better team, all year long. So glad. I'm happy for the players and the coach, not for the fan base, um,
Same, same,
or the
same, same,
city. But
same.
um, with the exception of Bill Burr, I do like Bill
Bill
Burr, so
Burr.
good for him.
Bill Burr and David Ortiz. That's it. Other than that,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no.
it. But Jaylen Brown I mean, the man got the extension and if possible, played beyond
Yeah.
not he more than earned his keep. So for someone who's so phenomenal off the court to get paid and recognized on the court and then perform, I think he's just had one of the most amazing, years for an athlete when you look at the whole body of what he did and Eastern Conference Finals MVP and MVP. Yes, offensively he was a menace, but it was his defense that really and that's where I'm not jumping on the bandwagon against Luka. I'm not one of these idiots who are gonna be like, oh, he's amazing, and then as soon as he loses, he's terrible. Um, but the separator between Jaylen Brown and other superstars, period, Luka included, is both ends of the court. I mean, he wants it. I mean, they had that he was mic'd up in that little section when he says, if Luka comes back out, I'll come out,
Mhm.
or I won't sit or what have you. And that's the mentality you need. You need someone who can do it on both ends of the court, um, on that team, on a championship team, and he's certainly one. But I'm gonna point out the elephant that no one seems to be talking about, and I did not understand it. There are a few people walking this earth who appreciate Dame Lillard more than me. I like him.
Oh, okay.
I love him as a person, as a player, right? From what I know of him. When you have a team that just won the championship a few years removed, you have a point guard that plays point guard and defense. I don't know why you get rid of him for someone who is defensively challenged, especially in a big league, who can fill up the bucket. Yes, but you have Middleton to do that. Like why the Bucks gave up Drew Holiday, I will never understand. And how the Celtics got Drew Holiday, I will never understand. I just don't understand how they got him. He is clearly a championship piece. He's a point guard that can play point guard, that isn't a distraction, that knows basketball, and oh, by the way, can D up anybody. Why? I just will never understand what happened, what's going on behind the scenes to make the Bucks think that Damian Lillard is a better fit for a championship team. Regular season team, sure. Championship team, I don't understand it. One. And then two, why the other 30 teams, Bucks not included, would or 29 teams would allow Boston to get him. I just I don't know. So congratulations, Boston. You played a heck of a game. Did not
Salute.
see the sweep coming. Um, that's it.
Salute.
I don't have as for the trade to Caruso, surprised me. I don't know what that was about unless
I just had to slide that in there.
well, maybe general managers see Giddy as, a high the ceiling much higher than Caruso, and maybe the general managers, this is Giddy's little off the court issues
Well,
that
then
they
you have that too. I
right.
didn't even bring that up.
So it may be in their circle that the Bulls are getting, are getting the advantage here, and that they're only getting it because of off court issues. I don't know. I don't see it, but who knows?
Yeah, one for one trade in that
Yeah,
scenario doesn't make much sense.
no.
Celtics wise, let's also give a shout out to Al Horford finally winning his first chip, which is outstanding, amazing. Um, I'm actually glad the series was over. And maybe it's the era of basketball that you and I grew up watching. I had a hard time watching that finals. I really did.
If I didn't watch one game in completion,
Yeah.
not a single one.
One, there was a little bit of a score differential in most of the games. There was a little bit of a runaway, but also just a style of play. I mean, the Celtics, for the most part, they run a five out. They don't even cut. They just stand around. They'll run the occasional ball screen, and then it's Jason Tatum just dribbling 10 times at the top of the key, doing a crossover, and then deciding to do a step back, and most of the time bricking it. Um, and then, yes, thankfully, Brown is able to grab it, just attack the rim. When Tatum decides to do that, of course, he's fantastic, but his game has a way to go yet. I know he scored 30 points and 31 points maybe in the last game, but I just don't like the way that the game is played right now. And I say all that because transition to our next topic in a second. Las Vegas Aces, watching them play last night, I'm like, that's the way you play ball. But it's with some movement, and there's just too much stationary action. There's just too much stationary action. Take the shot clock down to 10 or 11, ball screen, hoping you get a switch, and then it's just one-on-one ball.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
yeah,
100. I just echo that. It's the same argument that folks say, ugly basketball, WNBA. It's not that. It's not. So is the NBA, and it
yeah,
has been. By the way, I've been yelling forever. When I coached
yeah, yeah. 20
middle
years
school
ago.
basketball.
Don't be
I
telling me
told
about it.
my kids, do not go home tonight. If you're going to stay up and watch BYU versus Colorado State. Don't go home and watch. And this was what in the early 2000s.
Yeah, don't
I
watch
was like,
Sixers Bucks or
do
something.
not
Yeah,
watch the Sixers. Do not watch NBA if you want to get better.
yep.
It's not. It's been it's entertainment.
Yes,
It's not. It's
it's
Although
not ball.
I back then I remember saying I don't mind watching Dallas and San Antonio play because the way Pop and Carlisle's
Yep.
defenses ran back then, or offenses ran, I loved it.
Offenses. Yeah.
But the point is, you couldn't have said it better. I mean, for people, basketball purists who want to, downplay WNBA, and then, well, what did we just watch for the last 2 weeks? What is that?
Hmm.
What same thing with Dallas's offense was.
Oh,
I mean, what is? Uh, anyway,
yeah.
I'm not going to poo-poo it. The championship's
It's
done.
over,
It's
and they
over.
won.
Yeah.
But that's something. I mean, looking forward to next year. Hopefully, Golden State figures because they move the ball. They have decent action, of course, with Steph and the squad. We'll see what happens with Clay, and so that's the off season. We'll start analyzing the off season shortly. But maybe we should spend 1 second about JJ Redick getting hired by the
Ah,
Lakers, and maybe also that Monty Williams got fired by Detroit. I actually thought that was going to result in him getting hired by the Lakers, but maybe he's just going to chill and collect that cash. And I know his wife has some health issues, so that respect to the family, and hopefully all good there. JJ Redick, good luck. Good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. What you got?
well, I can't believe it.
That's the best they could do is JJ Redick, but okay.
I know. I know. Well, I can't believe. Well, first, uh,
Monty.
Monty Williams, his wife passed, by the way.
Oh, did she? Oh
Yeah,
gosh, I
she
missed
passed a
that.
couple
What I
years ago.
bet. Oh wait,
Um,
I thought okay. I keep going. I'm gonna
yeah,
find
she
something
passed
out.
a couple years ago. But I think the family has been going through it. I'm with you on that. I mean, you gave him nothing out there. I mean, you're rebuilding. I think he's the right guy. Another year, I think you've seen something different. And he's on the checkbook. They gotta cut a big check. He got a lot left. Makes no sense why they would let him go. As for Reddick getting hired, I'm surprised that all those rumors came to pass. Um, Especially with the optics of them having the show together, and they're like, it's gonna be weird.
It's
Now,
weird.
it's gonna be a show. Having said that, the one thing he's proven on his podcast and on First Take and when he's talking basketball is that the brother knows
He
basketball.
does. He does. Yes,
And
respect.
and I would love to see, but I don't doubt that any of these head coaches know basketball. So I don't know how that's going to equate. He's a couple years out. I mean, he's still in playing. I don't know. We'll see. I the here's the thing to worry about is he just went from a successful career to a successful career with his podcast. Living life, doesn't have to worry about the crazy scrutinies, or if he does, if they come to him, he's like, whatever, I'm on YouTube. You can't stop me. To now having to be in that limelight every day, having people talk nonsense about you that they know nothing about, having Stephen A and Mad Dog who
They coming for
annoyed
you. They're
they
coming.
annoyed you when you were in front of them and could tear them down. Now they get the opportunity to do that every day and you can't do anything about it. Like at some point, I think he gets to a point where he's like, "What? This isn't worth it. I was drinking wine, talking basketball, saying whatever I wanted, and now I've got to deal with you idiots who know nothing, and
Yes,
I
it's
can't. I don't have a no. So I don't. For that purpose, I think he'll get tired of it before you know, I think he'd be happier coaching high school basketball and doing his podcast. So, but we'll see. I think he will get to determine his happiness, and if it makes him happy, he'll do it and do it well. And if it doesn't, I think he'll bounce.
Yeah. And that's why when I said good luck, it was in reference to that, right? Leaving that,
Yeah.
having to coach a guy in which, a guy coaching LeBron now after spending the time that you spent together essentially as colleagues, it's going to be interesting. We'll
Yeah.
see. And there's
But
also an inflated sense of self when it comes to the Lakers. You're not winning nothing. You're not. You're out west. You're not winning anything unless you, I don't know, you get Klay Thompson. He finds the fountain of youth. I don't know how you're going to do it. So yeah, I don't disagree with that. And yeah, they coming for him. The media is coming for him. The media is coming for him. I also wish the Lakers actually gave a legit attempt to Dan Hurley because I really don't. I think that offer put him in the middle of of the top 10 salaries. And when you're coming in after back-to-back championships, and he's shown his worth, I think if you really wanted him, I think you should have blew the offer out the water, and I don't think they did. And when you got Monty Williams out there, I think you got to at least kick the tires on that, and it didn't seem like they did that. His first wife, yeah, she passed away. His second wife currently battling cancer, so much respect.
oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay. You
from what I
scared
could
me.
find.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, yes,
Apologize.
yeah,
Thanks for the
all good,
correction.
all good. So let's
Um,
see.
and so, well, yeah, enough. I'm NBA out until my,
NBA, we done.
yeah, they're done.
Sifway.
Round of applause
Paul
for the
George,
season.
Sixers, maybe? We'll see.
No,
Summer, it's coming.
no. I don't want older
I know.
dudes who are going to slow up this. Tyrese Maxey does not need to be slowed up by this 1984, not well, actually, this new age that's catered to these old veterans who want the game to slow down. Maxey's,
Zach LaVine would look good in the Sixers jersey. I'm just saying. Y'all could
yeah,
use
but
his
he's on
high
a max
flying.
contract. I
I
don't want
know.
to waste a max contract on that. I'd rather have a great
Give us some draft picks. We need some draft
team.
picks. We
I
need that
want a
Charles
deep
Barkley
team.
statue.
We got a deep team. I wouldn't mind one more superstar, but it's not necessary.
I hear
Solid
you.
1 through 8, 1 through 9 is what we need. We don't need max contracts. And to, Tobias is done. We don't need another Tobias.
So I'm with you. I'm watching. This summer is going to be interesting. Curious to see what sort of moves come, who drafts Bronny James, and who gets drafted, because I don't think too many people are aware of the talent. I think it's a weak draft class. We'll see where Zach Edey goes. That's probably the only real big name that folks are going to be aware of. So let's close it down today with the WNBA. And we've got some action since the last time we spoke about them a week and a half ago, maybe.
Hmm.
As you mentioned off air before we started, you've got the Indiana Clarks are currently sitting at 7-10 after starting the season 0-8.
I see what you did there. I
You
see
like
what you did
that?
there.
The Connecticut Sun are still leading the way. They're sitting there at 13-2. Surprisingly, the Minnesota Lynx, they're sitting there in the 3 seed behind the Liberty. I think they're 12 and I think they're tied with the Liberty at like 12-3 or something like that. And it's going to be interesting to see how things come together. The Aces just got Chelsea Gray back from
Mm.
injury. And I know I think Dallas is battling some injuries. To see if they can kind of get themselves going. And Brittany Griner's back, and Phoenix is starting their ascension. So I think you're going to end up with more than just 2 teams. I thought it was going to be a Liberty Aces final, but with Connecticut, Minnesota, Phoenix rising up, Seattle's actually looking pretty
Yeah,
good
I was
too.
going to say Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you got?
Um, I still think it's going to be Aces Liberty.
Fair.
I don't
That's
see.
fair.
I still think although Seattle is balling, Cameron going down, Brink went down.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
unfortunate. Here's
yeah.
what I'll say. I love that the Fever have come. I like the story that's being told because they started out wretched and it took some beating of some not so great teams, but um, sometimes that's all you need, and they're
Hmm.
they're genuinely playing better, which is cool. Glad to see that. Good for the sport. Good for the league. The Aces have not been the Aces thus far. And I know, Chelsea's back and everything, but even still, they haven't, I don't know, it just didn't look the same. But maybe that's what happens when got all this hardware on and you're the best team in the league. Um, but I think it's just a matter of time before they just put it in overdrive. Um, and then, like you said, it's been nice to see some of these other teams make it interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's good for the sport, good for the league. Uh, just unfortunate that Brink went down. What's cool to see is while the Olympic team may be trying to, you know, not progress and win, don't get me wrong, but keep some of our wily veterans on board. The voting for the WNBA All-Star team does
Uh-huh.
not.
That's right.
You see who's up? I mean, obviously Asia Wilson's at the top, but
As
Caitlin's
she
up
should be.
there. Boston's up there. They want the young folks. These are the people they know. And I'm not talking
Yes.
about the stalwarts. I'm talking about the new fans, these people who Caitlin has and others, all right, and Brink and Reese, but mainly Caitlin has brought the eyes that she's brought. They remember from this past year's run, so they know your Boston. They know, or last 2 years, I'd say maybe, but they know who they know, and that's who's at the top, and I love it. I
I'm with
love it.
it.
So we'll see how things go, but glad Caitlin's team is starting to play better. She really has been playing around the same level. I mean, she's gotten a little better, but her output has been, you know, too different. But the team is just functioning better, which is good to see.
Yeah, I still got some critiques because I still don't think they use Caitlin the way she should be
Yeah,
used, but they're starting to win.
awesome.
They're distributing the ball. Well, my biggest critique of them, and I think I've shared this in previous episodes, was how it appeared that Aaliyah Boston was actually sliding, that she seemed to be regressing. Um, from last year's Rookie of the Year campaign, but now she started to kind of bump back up, and I we don't know why, but it just seems like, you know what? You got Aaliyah Boston, now you got Caitlin Clark. You should have two pretty solid pillars here to be able to have a solid 1-2 punch
Right.
along with Mitchell, and that seemed to be missing. But she's been a huge part of their win streak. Um, so yeah, let's see where that continues to go. They did have some softer opponents with respect to records, so we'll see how that goes. I agree with everything that you said. Actually, we need to add something here. Asia Wilson is hands down the best player in the WNBA. Now, much respect to Brianna Stewart getting the MVP last year, cool. But Asia Wilson, you the queen of this league. Just salute to you. It's amazing to watch you play, and everyone should spend some time not just watching that team, because I love the way Becky Hammon runs action with that team. But yeah, now that everyone's healthy, they're going to start to take off. That's really, I think, where a lot of their stuff was. I love some of their struggles were when it came to their record and such. I like where you took it with respect to the Olympic team and the All-Star team. You and I are both in agreement that I think, right, that
Mhm.
the WNBA missed out on a huge opportunity by having Caitlin Clark on the team. And the sport needs to grow, right? And yes, I think it's fair to agree. I think we both agree on this, that there are amazing women that have played in this league. And I've been watching this league since day one with Cynthia Cooper and, just go on down the list. The
Cheryl
Houston
Swoops,
Comets, yeah, Teresa Witherspoon, just go down the list, right?
absolutely.
I've watched this league since it started. We love basketball. For whatever reason, they have not been able to generate a profit for 27 years. I keep bringing this point up. And it looks like they're still not going to generate a profit this year, but it seems like some of that has to do with the NBA pulls a significant cut of monies out because they fund a lot of this. But I say all that because this is a moment, right? With the Diana Taurasi's, with the Brittany Griners, with the Brianna Stewart, to go down the Kelsey Plums, with the Maya Moores, everybody, for whatever reason, that wasn't able to catch on. Now, teams are selling out home games for the first time in forever. This
Changing
was
venues.
changing venues, moving from 5,000 seat stadiums to NBA facilities. Huge. This was an opportunity to probably go David Stern 1992 Olympics and let's really put this on the world stage to get even more attention. They didn't do that. Okay, we'll see. I want to get Lauren Brown on here for a future episode because we are chopping this up a little bit here this week to get her opinion in here. But All-Star Game is going to have it, and the All-Stars end up playing the U.S. Olympic team in the summer too. So that'll be
Yep.
wild. Because I'm missing out. Who was it? From the Dallas Wings. She pulled her name from
Yeah.
Ogunwale. Is
Oh,
that it?
yep, yep,
Yep.
yep,
Okay.
yep,
So all like she certainly should be on that team. I mean, she's
yep,
top 10 without question.
yep,
Um, but that's probably an episode for itself, right? That's a topic that should be its own standalone episode. So maybe we do that next time.
yep. They dropped the ball again. It just seems to be a recurring theme. It's almost like whoever's at the top wants them to fail.
Risk
So
avoidance. Risk avoidance is what it is.
uh, you, what I think it's a microcosm of where we're at these
Could
days.
be, could be, could be.
Everyone wants the wants to be rewarded and doesn't necessarily want to go through whatever folks before them went through because it's unfair. Well, yeah, it is, but
That's
why
a good
don't
point.
you earn your part in history too? Like, why does history have to end with your situation being the perfect ending? Like, you are a part of the journey. So do your part. The women before you did what they needed to do. It just boggles my mind. And I don't want to steal. I'm going to credit Stephen A. Smith. I sent you the clip because he
Yep.
said everything that I would have said or that I was thinking or that I was feeling
He's an
when he
imperfect
said
messenger, but
Christian
yes,
Leitner does not deserve to be on that 92
correct.
Dream Team. Everyone in the world knew it.
It should have
He
been
was
Shaq.
on there for a simple. If you want to go with a college player, then it should have been Shaq.
Yeah.
But in reality, why wouldn't it just be all just Isaiah Thomas should have been on there? Like, let's be honest. But they were going to win regardless. Part of the game is, there's the game which you need to win, and then there is
The
the
game.
brand, the
Yeah.
game that needs to win. And we've been winning the game 7,
Forever.
8 straight, the last 30 years in a row. No one's come close to beating us. Like, what are we talking about? The women are going to win regardless. Put Caitlin Clark on that team. Hell, if you want to put Angel Reese, if you want, even though I'm tired of that talk, they're nowhere near the same level. But
No.
put her on if you want, if you want that that spectacle. You don't need. Oh God, I can't believe I can't believe they did it. I just unbelievable. Whoever's running it, I genuinely believe a part of them wants them to fail. There's just no way. There's I don't understand. There's just no way. Not them to fail the team, but them the WNBA.
The U.S. women's Olympic team for basketball has not lost a game in the Olympics since 1992.
There you have it.
So watch the 1996 30 for 30. Great special on ESPN. So
Anyway,
yeah,
so there we have it.
we solving the world's problems. And as we look to adjourn our episode today, shout out to Tom York because 8 minutes ago he posted the following. And this is a good segue maybe for our next episode. We'll talk a little bit more baseball. It's time Walker is sent to the minors. He's killing the Phillies. He throws slop up to opposing hitters as witnessed by his terrible performance yesterday. He never should have been a starter. Make it happen or he will personally destroy the regular season. So Tom York, shout out to you. We might have to bring you in for our next episode in a couple of days.
Tom York's one of those guys that believes, you need 5 aces. All right, 9 gold glovers.
You have to go 162 and out.
Everyone's got to be. Now, shout out to him. I mean, yeah, Walker's had a rough go of it. I mean, we skipped a start or two of his. What are you gonna do? But
I love it. Love you, Tom. Love you, Tom.
yes,
Happy
yes.
anniversary to you, Wendy, last week. Happy 40th.
Nice, happy anniversary. Well, before we go, I want to give a shout out to
Yes.
BSU, Black Students United at University of Akron, put on their first play written, produced, directed by students. The unique play was awesome. Called My Last Homecoming. I know it's probably showing up backwards on the screen, but I want to give him a little shout out because it was a beautiful thing with Juneteenth just passing not too
Yes.
long ago. This was done this past spring, but I just wanted to give a shout out to them for what they did and celebrate
Nice.
some of their work.
And in honor of Juneteenth, everybody, please watch the Reggie Jackson interview
Ooh,
during the Fox broadcast of honoring the Negro Leagues earlier this week. Just it's what needed to be said, and just salute to him, and
yes.
also salute to the broadcast of keeping it, letting
Letting
it
him
run,
go. Yep,
letting it
absolutely.
run. So this is good.
All right, brother. Well,
Appreciate you.
until next time. Peace.
Peace.